A warm welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Bilt Hamber are releasing a new product. What is it? Watch this.
Introducing Re-review, a deep cleaning glass polish. The highly reactive surface of glass can form strong chemical bonds with certain contamination. These stubborn and largely water-repellent films are commonly found on automotive glass, where they can cause visual distortion and smearing, particularly visible at night. Glass in its pure, clean state is hydrophilic. A drop of water applied to it will flatten rather than bead tightly. Water beading is caused by contamination or an intentionally applied water repellent coating. Traceless, spray-on wipe-off glass cleaner perfectly removes all visible substances, but will not remove chemically bonded materials. And when water is applied to the clean glass, the effect of the contamination is clearly visible. Here, half of the contaminated glass is treated with Re-review, an advanced glass polish that chemically and physically debonds contamination or repellent coatings from glass. The dried residue can be effortlessly rinsed or buffed away. Now, when water is applied, a dramatic contrast between the untreated and treated side can be seen as the glass is moved to show the clarity of the bottle in the background through the perfectly uniform film of water. Using our Alcometer 1720, we are able to test side by side the ability of commercially available glass polishes to remove these bonded films. Equal amounts of three leading competitors and Re-review are applied to applicator sponges. The machine is set to 20 cycles and wipes over identical hydrophobically coated glass surfaces. The glass panels are taken from the test machine. After the polish residue is removed, the dried glass is laid over our bottle labels. If beading remains after soaking, the hydrophobic film has not been removed and distorts the clarity of the image. Only the unique chemical-physical action of Re-review at position 2 removes this bonded hydrophobic coating. Bilt Hamber, better by science.
Okay guys, so I hope you found that intro interesting. I did. So Bilt Hamber Re-review. I got wind of this from Bilt Hamber that it was coming a couple of weeks ago and they asked me if I'd like to try a sample. Absolutely. So my first question to them was, why glass polish? I'm not seeing a lot of money here, because in terms of detailing products, everyone wants a ceramic spray sealant or a graphene this or other, or something a bit more blingy. Glass polish, for me, I was just thinking, it's not going to make them a lot of money. I can't remember what they said to that. I can't remember what they said. But I figured that because their previous product was Bilt Hamber Traceless, which was a unique, powerful glass cleaner, you know, a liquid traditional glass cleaner, non-abrasive, I figure they've been exploring and delving into the world of glass, and that this product makes sense to accompany their Traceless. Now let's just wind the clock back. Traceless, I think, like I was saying, it's a unique glass cleaner. It doesn't just use the sort of standard cocktail of alcohol solvents that you see in other glass cleaners. It uses, I think, stronger kind of chemicals, and it just deep cleans glass, and you'll notice it the more you use it. I used it on the inside of glass the other day and it still had a bit of kind of glue on it from the tax disc holder. And Traceless just took all of that off, and normally a glass cleaner isn't quite that powerful. So whatever's in this, it's all about horsepower and grunt and just making the job easier. And I'm already hooked on kind of Traceless from using it now for the last 6 months or however long it's been released. However, Traceless cannot remove certain types of bonded contamination on glass and old or new glass sealants which are bonded to the surface. So sometimes you may have seen with glass, in certain lights, or when you get certain water on it with light, that you sometimes see a murky white film, or you see an oily film, or you see residues that are dry, and you try and rub them and they just will not come off, and you can sit there buffing on them with glass cleaner all day long and they won't come off the glass. When you've got that situation, that's when you need to use a glass cleaner. Or by default, if you're prepping your front windscreen or any glass to have a glass sealant applied, to get the best results, you need to strip off what's on there. Bare glass should be hydrophilic. Glass with contamination on it and glass with sealants on it is typically hydrophobic, and it will repel the water off and you'll get kind of droplets and beads forming. So when you've got perfectly prepped glass, you should have just that waterfall, that slow waterfall film of water over it when you spray the water on, and you shouldn't get any breaking through of little hydrophobic patches or anything like that. If that happens, you've missed a bit when you're using the polish. Now, you will also notice when you've cleaned your glass and you kind of spray some water on it, where the wiper blades go, you can typically have a hydrophilic area, and around the outside where the wiper blades don't rub, you can get hydrophobic areas. My thoughts on that was that the wiper blades are just abrading whatever's on there back to bare glass, or they're leaving grease off and dirt off the wiper blades. Not entirely sure on that, but with my red Porsche, you could see around the outside hydrophobic, and on the inside hydrophilic. So how do you go about using this product, guys? Well, Bilt Hamber recommend you use a cotton cloth or a suede microfiber cloth, which is that completely flat, sort of soft microfiber cloth that sometimes used for cleaning eyewear glasses and stuff like that. So I luckily have a suede microfiber pad, which makes a really good microfiber applicator. You put one pea-sized drop on the applicator per 30 centimetres, and because I'm using the product for the first time, that's all I did. One pea-sized drop, 30 centimetres. When you get a bit more comfortable using the product, I think you could, if you can cover larger distances, and perhaps use two pea-sized drops and expand the area you polish. Okay, so put your pea-sized drop down, work it over that little square section and just rub in circles. How many sort of circles do you need to do? Do you need to sit there buffing on it for ages? No, typically, say a foot by a foot or a bit more, 30 by 30, you're going to be spending probably 20 to 30 seconds to buff that. You do not need to sit there doing loads and loads of passes. How do you know, John? You only used it one time, because I did loads and loads of passes on the left side, and when I was doing the right side, I went into turbo mode, and turbo mode worked just as well as careful, diligent mode. So yeah, you don't need to go crazy with the buffing. You can use it by machine if you want to remove all of that kind of action. You know, the machine will just make it easier for you. Some other questions you're going to ask me. Does this product contain cerium oxide? Can you cut glass with it? It does contain cerium oxide. You can use it by machine, and that will improve like hazing and stuff like that. But it's not been primarily designed as a glass cutter to improve the surface quality of glass. It's been designed more to deep clean glass and remove contamination and previous films. Okay, so I'll try it on machine with a round pad. Typically I don't do that because it's hard work. I'm just happy with clean sealed glass. Next question, does it stain trim? Well, it's a polish, it's an abrasive, so if you put abrasive particles on rubber and leave them there to dry, they're probably going to embed to a certain extent. So when you use this product, what I would do, you can just wipe it off, obviously, if it goes on trim. I've tested that and it just wipes straight off. But when you've finished polishing this, you could do a full rinse of that glass, a full rinse of your trim, and then just wipe it over with a cloth or a towel just to make sure you dry it, and you can wipe over the trim. And if there's any bits of polish kicking around, you'll pick them up. You should, on the whole, obviously stay away from the rubbers, but sometimes you get a little bit of polish on them. So just wipe it off is the tip there. What else do you need to know? So after you've rubbed it over the surface, you can either dry wipe the film of polish off, which is fine, or you can rinse water over it and it will break it down, and then you can wipe it, or you can use a wet cloth as well, which seemed to work really well, just to break it all down. Because it's water miscible, if you like, you can also revive the polish by misting a little bit of water on it. So it's quite a strong product. When you wipe it in there, you'll feel that abrasion in the summer or in hot conditions, or particularly if you're using it by machine, you're going to dry the polish out the more you work it, so you can always revive it if you want to. But from using it here on a cold day, if you put it down on your applicator and just wipe it over the surface, you probably won't need to use any water, but you can do if you want to loosen it up a little bit. So have some water in a little sprayer just to utilise that if need be. What do I think about it? It's powerful. The key thing, if you've used Bilt Hamber products, they're all quite powerful and they all kind of get you from A to B rapidly. So it's hard to just know how good this is without doing comparative kind of testing. So you'd have to do like a best glass polish and line up all of the candidates and test them and benchmark them and see how good it is. And it's the same with Traceless. I haven't done that benchmarking, but I mean, from using Traceless for the last 6 months, it's for me, it's the most powerful glass cleaner out there by a long way. Brilliant stuff. So I'm expecting this stuff to also be a very powerful glass polish. How much does it cost? Well, it's $16.95 for 500 ml. How does that compare to other products that you use, John? Well, a couple of my other favourite glass polishes, Glaco Ultra is, I've written it down, £12.99 for 100 ml, or Geon glass polish, which is new, is £12 for 120 ml. So they're a little bit less, but you get less. So pound for pound, this works out a bit cheaper, which is another cool thing with Bilt Hamber products. They're always really competitively priced and offer good value for money. So I've got high hopes for Bilt Hamber Re-review. I'm going to be using it further and I'll give you more information on it as I try it. But if you're like me and you've been following this channel for a while, you're probably going to be excited to try it. And at the point that this video is published, it will be available from all Bilt Hamber distributors up and down the country. But I will stick a link into Imran, the man with the plan, from Into Detailing. So yeah, it's available, guys. Go check it out. A huge thank you to Bilt Hamber for sending it to me. And while we got their attention with this video, put in the comments what product you would like to see next from them. And anyone that puts a ceramic spray or ceramic anything, ceramic tyre dressing or whatever, I will hunt you down. I will find you. And yeah. Take care. See you later, guys.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I when